Sup guys, it's Reddit time. Like and subscribe. Stay groovy. Let's go. Am I the a-hole for insisting my pregnant sister switch bedrooms with me? Throwaway because I don't want it connected to my main. My sister and I, both mid-20s, female, I'm a few years older, share a house together. It was our parents' house and we both inherited it after they died. We have equal share and ownership of the house. The house has 4 bedrooms. One is the master room and has an ensuite and walk-in wardrobe. The other 3 just have built-in robes. We both moved back in after deciding that neither of us wanted to sell. We agreed that she could have the master suite, but the 2 largest of the other bedrooms would both be mine. One as an actual bedroom and the other as a gaming room for me. The last and smallest bedroom is a guest room. Her boyfriend's been living here for a while and she recently told me that she's pregnant. I'm not particularly looking forward to sharing a house with a screaming baby, but it's her house too, and she has every right to be here and raise her kid. Obviously the baby will need a bedroom, and I was expecting that to be the guest room. It is the smallest bedroom in the house, but it's still the same size as a standard bedroom. But my sister wouldn't go for that. She's insisting I move my stuff out of my games room so that can be the baby's room. I told her that I'm not moving my stuff into the guest room because that wasn't our agreement. But then she informed me that actually I won't be able to do that either, as we would still need a guest room, especially with the baby coming as her boyfriend's family will want to visit. So I said fine, you can have my games room if you move into my room and give me the master room. She started crying and said that as a mother, she's going to need her own space and she deserves the master bedroom. I asked what she expected me to do, and she said I should just suck it up and keep all my crap in my own room. We're at an impasse, and I can't get her to come to a real agreement with me. She keeps calling me a huge B and says that I should have let her have both the master bedroom and my gaming room because she needs them more. Her boyfriend says I should just deal with it, that because I don't want kids anyway, I should just suck it up. My girlfriend, who also spends a lot of time here, is on my side and says my sister is being a spoiled, entitled little brat. Am I the a-hole? Edit. She can't buy me out. She doesn't have the money. We each got some money along with the house, but she wanted a fancy Range Rover, so most of hers went to that, and she can't get a loan because she's only working part-time at Macca's at the moment. I still have all of my money plus some of my own savings, so I'll be having a discussion with her regarding buying her out. The house is located in a nice and expensive area, so what she gets from me from her half will be enough for her to buy an average 3-bedroom house in a cheaper area. I really don't want to sell if I can help it, as the house has been in the family a long time. Let's go straight to the comments. Not the a-hole about giving up your rooms, but I'm very doubtful this living situation is going to last. She's doing a slow takeover, and it will only get worse, especially if she has more kids. Have you ever discussed her buying out your share, or honestly just selling and getting your own home? Not the a-hole. Do not under any circumstances give up your gaming room, or else they're going to try and move you out of that house. Tell her to take the guest room and make it an even 2 bedrooms for each. The boyfriend's family can sleep on the sofa, or they can go to a hotel. You own half of the house, not him. Someone asks, why can't you take the spare bedroom to use as your gaming room and give her your gaming room for the nursery? You should each get 2 rooms, that seems fair to me. Opie replied, A, games room is a bit bigger than my bedroom, so if I gave her that and took the other 2, I'd end up with 2 smaller rooms and her with 2 bigger ones, which is unfair. And B, she won't allow me to have the spare room at all. We need a guest room apparently. I know she can't actually do that, but she won't accept that fact. Yeah, I don't know, the sister's being pretty unreasonable here. Like, I'm sure you can use the guest room as a nursery, and then when people are over, just move the cot and the baby into the parents' room. Or if you don't want to do that, just put a mattress on the floor in the gaming room or in the lounge room or something like that. Like, there's compromises here. It's hard not to agree with comments that are saying that they're pushing her out slowly. Because that's what's happening here, it feels like. Anyway, let's go to the update. Hi guys, so this kind of blew the F up. Was definitely not expecting it to get as big as it did. It's ended up on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook and frickin' Newsweek. My cousins saw it, my aunts and uncles saw it, my friends saw it, my girlfriend's family saw it, and even my sister saw it. I know a lot of people were wanting an update, so here you go. So I talked with her over the weekend. She actually did apologise for being such a brat, which surprised me. I guess when she saw it on TikTok, she came here and read through some of the comments and realised how unfair she was being. I made the offer to buy out her half, and I made sure to point out to her how nice it would be for her to be able to pick out a place for her family with her boyfriend, and how special it would be to have somewhere that's just theirs. She's never really been fond of the style of the family home. She prefers modern style architecture than the old-fashioned Victorian style that the house is, so I also pointed out that she could find something she really loved. I explained that I'd be more than happy to help her with everything, from actually finding a place to the actual task of moving itself. Like I said, the house is worth quite a bit, so she'll be getting a lot of money for her half, and it will be enough to buy a house outright in a cheaper area, with some left over. When I say cheaper area, I don't mean a bad area. She'll still be able to buy in a decent area, just not as nice as the current one. She said yes. She seems genuinely excited to start going house hunting, and I'm actually excited to go with her. We're going to talk to a lawyer next week to start getting things moving, as we both agree that the sooner this happens, the better. I know a lot of people were talking about her poor money skills, and to be fair, she's not the greatest with money, but she did have a better job before. Not an amazing job, but she was making decent money. But she decided to leave when she found out she was pregnant and pick up some shifts at Macca's for now. But she's not sure if she wants to go back to her old work after the kid is born and gets a bit older. Regarding her boyfriend, y'all were right in that he doesn't pay rent, but he really is between jobs at the moment. He was going to uni to be a sports teacher while working at a sports store. He finished his degree recently and left his retail job, but is looking for a teaching job still. So, happy ending. Yay! Alrighty, and that's the end of that one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love a happy ending like that. And love to hear family actually working out their problems and, working together to come to an agreement. Yeah, great to hear. Alright, let's go to our next story. Okay, this next one's going to be a bit different. It's from the adultery subreddit. And I will warn you, this is a side of Reddit that kind of paints cheaters in a more sympathetic light. So if you're into that sort of thing, great. If you're not, also great, but get ready to get mad. It was written by user Miserable Ad, and it's titled, Calm Before the Storm. I tried posting a few days ago, but could not find the post. Must be lost in cyberspace. Don't even know if this is the right forum at the moment. In gist, affair partner got served divorce papers out of nowhere 2 days ago at work. Her husband knows of us and me. It's only a matter of time before my wife finds out. Don't know if I have days or hours before the world as I know it is gone. I took some time off work to spend time with my wife and 2 daughters. My body is in turmoil, but strangely my mind is clear. It reminds me of the days leading up to my dad passing away. Time has slowed down and I'm aware of all the things surrounding me. It's a nice feeling. My day today was filled with observation of details and appreciation. My wife's smell and the clothes she wore, my daughter's laughter, the colour of the kitchen tiles, the dog, the yard. I feel blessed to have a healthy and beautiful family. What will my daughters think of me? I look at my wife that I love with all my heart, and I see a woman who stood by me no matter what. We had our fair shares of ups and downs, like most couples, but I never imagined a life without her. How do I justify a 6-year affair? Is that even forgivable? I don't know what the future holds. All I know is that the storm is coming, and I'm here basking in the sun until the clouds come rolling in. I plan to confess over the weekend. Even if I know the outcome, I pray she does not leave me. This was so frickin' not worth it. Any suggestions on how to confess? How do you start? What do I tell my daughters? I've already made an appointment with a therapist. What else can I do? Wish me luck. I mean, to answer your question about that being forgivable, yeah, I think I'm going to go with no. I mean, pretty obvious, right? Let's look at some comments. Not trying to be mean or anything, but you never imagined life without her? You had a 6-year affair, and you love your wife with all your heart? It sounds like you're really confused. Maybe she'll stick by you with counselling. Opie replies, I'm not confused. Never was. I don't have a problem separating love from sex. My heart is loyal to my woman, and she is it for me. You have a lot to sort through, but you're taking the right direction to line up some IC for yourself. Be ready to move out if you are kicked out after the storm. 6 years is a long affair by any measure. If it wasn't worth it, what was a fair partner to you? Someone you could also toy around with along with your wife? For the record, this is a classic definition of throwing someone under the bus to save yourself. Maybe start by owning up to what you've done. If you think the affair partner's BS will reach out to your wife and tell her everything he discovered, I would suggest you start telling the truth. I am not a BS, but it seems that trickle-truthing hurts way more over time. Whether your long-term affair is forgivable or not is no longer in your control. Opie replies, So many responses about how I don't value my affair partner. Well, since I'm on a pour my heart out roll here, let me tell you about my affair partner. She is a gorgeous and a smart woman who is funny and open to different experiences. She is younger than myself and my wife, fit, seductive, sexy as frick, but she is not my wife and does not even compare. 6 years on and off is a long time to invest. As I see it, she is an adult woman who made decisions to cheat with a married man on her husband for whatever reasons. Do I care for her? Yes, 6 years is a long time. Do I love her? No. Did I say to her I loved her? Yes, of course I did, but I lied, just as I lied to my wife. Did I use her? Yes, I did. Did she use me? Of course she frickin' did. We both knew we were playing with fire. You were selfish as frick. 6-year affair, and it was only not worth it because you and AP were caught. Not only do you not deserve your wife, but you do not deserve your affair partner. OP replies, yes, I'm very much aware of that. I don't deserve my wife, that's for sure. The affair partner, don't mean to be rude, but I don't want her. Okay, that was a terrible thing to say. What I mean is that I don't intend to be with my affair partner. I wish you the best of luck with whatever you decide. D-Days are hell on earth. And if there's any way to avoid this, do it. Confession is not good for the soul, and unless the affair partner's significant other decides to be a bunny broiler, you may not be exposed, so no point. The better idea is to just stop with the affair partner. Even though I know she needs support, it cannot be you unless you want to exit your marriage. Follow that up with some counselling to figure out how to fix yourself, and possibly some MC to have a third party help you guide the significant other to getting fixed if you do have a DB situation. The MC shouldn't have to uncover you, unless it's already happened. In short, start making a plan for it if you get exposed. Make it a good solid plan and be ready to use it. OP replies, thank you for this advice. I am leaning towards not telling after talking to my brother yesterday, but I've not yet decided. OP gives another edit. Thank you all for your comments and suggestions. Some of them were hard to read. I don't have time to address all comments, but will reply to a few to clear some things. Yesterday I reached out to my brother for advice. He left his wife some years ago and married his affair partner. He seemed happy with her. The grass is not greener for him after all, and he's planning on leaving her but is stuck at the moment. His advice is to not tell my wife and to minimise if confronted. He also said I should let down affair partner gently so she does not go nuclear on my wife and family. I'm hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. Opie gives some more comments. The reason I strayed has nothing to do with my wife. We have a good sex life in general, but I do have some kinks that she's not into at all. My affair partner was into the same kinks. That's how we met, and that is why the affair was ongoing for 6 years. What led to me starting the affair was my wife being in an accident that took a toll on her body. Sex was off the table for over a year. I gave in to temptation, and when I discovered the affair partner shared my kink, I was hooked. So all you people saying my wife was withholding sex and intimacy, no. My wife and I are very intimate. Having sex with my wife is making love. Sex with a affair partner is just sex. My wife meets 90% of all my needs, and my affair partner meets 10%. Another commenter says, for a bunch of cheaters, you guys are judgmental AF. Of course, now that crap hit the fan, he realised that in hindsight, the 6-year affair isn't worth it. Whether he's a cake eater or not, the fact is that he was happy, and whatever needs he needed fulfilled were fulfilled, if not by his affair partner, by his wife. You don't go into an affair thinking I'm going to leave my partner or I'm going to divorce. It's an affair. It's in the dark and it's supposed to stay like that. If the love was so real, you would have left. I know because I left my ex when I realised I was falling in love. I knew my time with my ex had expired. Don't go projecting on this poor guy because in your head you think your affair is so perfect and precious, and it hurts you and scares you that if your affair partner found him or herself in the same situation, you would be as insignificant as this guy's affair partner is now to him. Good luck, dude. Getting caught sucks for all involved, and I wish for your sake and the sake of your family that she is a forgiving woman, as well as humble to where she is willing to accept her faults that drove your relationship to this place. OP replies, yes, thank you. What you wrote is how I feel. I was missing 10% in my marriage and got an affair partner to fill in that gap. Was it worth the 90%? Frick no. I should have made a cost-benefit analysis before this mess. Someone else says, I wouldn't immediately admit to anything, as we don't know if news will get back to your wife. Imagine if all the problems should be for naught if she never learns the truth, but not for your confession. If she does learn of the affair, then downplay it as a midlife crisis, job stress, a short-term fling, or any plausible story. Remember that we are in a practice of lying as part of this lifestyle. I will agree with others that we need to weigh the risk-reward equation of our stepping out. Frankly, if I had a wonderful, fulfilling, sexually satisfying marriage, I wouldn't be with an affair partner, but instead, I'm a decade into a zero-sex marriage, so my risk of loss are substantially less. OP replies, "Are you my brother?" That is pretty much what he said too. Well, okay, I must say that myself and probably 95% of people listening to this don't exactly look at life and relationships the way these people do. Posting about their affairs on Reddit and, doing any sort of mental gymnastics to justify their decisions. But it is interesting to see how some people think, I guess. I don't know, I guess all you guys listening are either really intrigued or really mad about how these people think. Let me know down below, what do you think of this subreddit? It's interesting, isn't it? Albeit not exactly my cup of tea. Anyway, let's go to the update. I was prepared for all scenarios, but not this one. The doomsday did not come in the shape I was expecting. Affair partner ended up convincing her soon-to-be ex not to spill the beans to my wife in exchange for a smooth divorce. I thought I was in the clear. Yesterday, affair partner sent me a blurry photo of my wife in the car with another man. She claimed they walked hand in hand to his car from a store in a nearby town to ours. She got a shot of the plates too. After some digging, I know she is having an affair. Don't know how long for sure, but at least 6 months. He's a single dad our age and is telling her to leave the marriage. She is telling him she loves him. Afraid to confront her, I feel numb at the moment. Took a day off work. Any advice? I love her and want to stay married. I had the tables turn. So he finds out his wife's cheating on him and he has the audacity to say he feels numb? Like, come on, you had it coming, man. Now for some more comments from OP. No private investigator, affair partner's friend who also knows my wife, co-worker, saw her in the parking lot, took pictures and sent to my affair partner forwarded it to me. Wife loves our sauna, took the phone from the counter while she was relaxing, no password, it was all there on WhatsApp. He was saved under a woman's name, did not have time to read it but saw enough to confirm. Convos go back since April. Someone else says, "Promise I'm not trying to bust your balls, just trying to understand. Your wife can't have cake of her own? I'm not a cake eater, but a single affair partner to 2 of them. I guess I'm not seeing the big deal. You're both getting your itches scratched." OP replies, "Logically, yes, we are both getting our itches scratched. What's the big deal? I'm not ruled by logic at this moment. Maybe later, but now my emotions are overpowering every logic. Never in my life have I experienced this type of emotional and physical distress. I can't even think straight. Never thought I was going to bawl my eyes out and throw up on the carpet." I think you need to find out why your wife cheated. If her reasons line up with yours, maybe there's a way to move to don't ask, don't tell. OP replies, "I'm desperate to talk this out to know why this happened and how invested she really is in this piece of crap. If she's doing this out of revenge, maybe I have a chance, because if so, she does feel something for me at least. I can't imagine her being emotionless throwing away over 20 years. I know this woman like I know myself. Deep down she's hurt, but also so very stubborn and proud. I just want to know if she knew about my affair. Why the hell did she not confront me? I would have chosen her over affair partner in a nanosecond. And what the hell is she hoping to find with this douche? He's no better than me, sleeping with a married woman. Ah, frick. I'm trying to respect her wish to have some space, but I'm desperate to just talk to her." Yeah, no sympathy for this guy whatsoever. Let's go to the last update. My marriage seems to be over. I confronted wife this past weekend, sat her down without warning and told her I knew she was having an affair and with whom. Asked her if she loved him and what her plan was. She was caught off guard, went to the bathroom for 10 minutes, and when she came out she looked me straight in the eyes and said, "I know about your affair too. I've known for some time now. I love him and want a divorce." Next days were a blur. I tried to talk to her but she shuts me down. She's moved into the spare bedroom and is making appointments with law firms. Has told our 2 girls. I've signed up for emergency therapy. Am on meds for dealing with anxiety and lack of sleep. This is surreal. Heard her talk to him last night and cut the internet cord. Kind of crazy because I need frickin' internet for work and she just switched to her phone. Ah man, so many emotions are running through me. I made love to her past week and today she's a total stranger. How does this happen? How can she not feel any frickin' emotion? Over 20 years gone. All the love, friendship, partnership, intimacy, jokes, memories, plans for our future, gone. Just like that, no looking back. Feel so blindsided and the only person I can talk to is my brother, who lives across the country. Sorry to vent here to you fine people on here. I just need to get this out. Alrighty, that's the end of that one. Honestly, I almost didn't read this story because I wasn't sure what it was going to be like, but honestly, I'm so happy I did. That's the funniest ending I've ever heard. Like, I'm sorry, yeah, it's kind of sad, and like, obviously the kids and stuff I feel for, but honestly, OP just gets a real taste of his own medicine, and then he has the absolute gall to complain about it on Reddit when he was cheating on her for 6 years. Such a hypocrite. Today I effed up by not knowing that the guy I like works on the same floor as me. Happened yesterday and I still feel like I want to die. By the way, I'm 19 and he's 21. It all started when a TA for one of my classes got sick and they got someone else to fill in for a lecture. The guy they got to fill in was a fumbling mess, but dang it, he was so cute. I did some light stalking afterward and found out he has a blog, and it was one of the most wholesome and funny things I'd read in a while. He's a total nerd that's very attractive, and I'm so into that. One time I was studying in the library and saw that he took a seat near mine, so I struck up a conversation with him, and it went so great. We talked for hours and I got no work done. Anyway, I work in a research lab on campus part-time. This week, my PI was still out on vacation, but my mentor had full access to the lab, so I was free to do my experiments unbothered. One of my close friends also works in the same lab as me, so we've been having a blast, just hanging in basically an empty lab. It was about 4 PM yesterday when we decided to go out into the hallway to just chill for a bit and eat some snacks. One of the doors to another lab that we were standing close to was open, but we didn't think too much about it since the entire floor was really deserted. Basically, everyone was still on holiday. We were talking about this guy she's seeing when she asked me if anything new happened between me and the awkward dude who guest lectured. I told her about what happened in the library, and she started drilling me about his facial expressions and how close he was sitting to analyse if he was into me. We were saying things like, I feel like at least one time his eyes dropped down to my lips, or did he stare at you for longer than 5.7 seconds? Because if it was, he for sure wants to F you. It was all for craps and giggles. Then me, being the crass unfiltered B I am, went and said, I would even let him F me in the butt if he wanted to. And we both burst out into laughter. Disclaimer, I was kidding. Then, out of frickin' nowhere, I hear footsteps coming out of the open door next to me, and both me and my friend whip around to look. Lo and behold, to my frickin' terror, the guy I like walks out of the door, gives us a barely concealed shocked look, and says, Hey, you guys might want to just keep it down a little bit. Then he frickin' winked at me, went back inside, but left the door open. I gave my friend the most mortified look, and she mouths, Holy crap, that's him. And I straight up bolt down the hallway and flee down the stairs with my friend chasing behind me until I reached the outside of the building, where I promptly collapsed onto a bench. My friend comforted me amidst many fits of laughter while I died slowly due to the sheer embarrassment I brought onto myself. She also searched up the name of the lab that is literally 3 down from ours, and sure enough, he's listed under our team. This guy does not have a LinkedIn or Facebook status saying he works there. I've never even seen him in the hallways, ever. Do I think he heard everything I said? Yes. Does his lack of any reaction worry me? Very much so. Do I want to dig a hole and bury myself in it? 100%. I think we can all relate to this one in some way or another. We've all said something about someone not knowing that that very person is listening. How awkward. Let's look at the comments. I mean, at least he knows you like him then. He winked. He could have reacted in a worse way, like saying I'm gay or something. He winked at you. OP, he wants the P. Or the A, whatever floats his boat. Shoot your shot, dog. I'll bet my life savings that he'll say yes to a date or whatever you go for. So I heard from a girl I worked with that her friend liked me. I didn't know her friend, but my buddy did, and said he would go through her lane, cashier, and introduce us. I went into the empty lane behind her, and he went through her lane to buy a soda or something. So I'm standing right behind her, and this frickin' snake proceeds to ask her out. However, she responds something to the effect of, No, I like your friend. He then looks at me over her shoulder, and she spun around and turned a beautiful shade of pink. Been with her for 30 years. Ended my friendship soon after that. Okay, on to an update. 2 months ago, I messed up. I was infatuated with this super cute guy who came in and guest lectured for one of my classes. I ended up realising, not in a way that I wanted to at all, that he actually works 3 labs down from the lab I work at. Basically, most of the floor was on holiday, and my close friend and I were hanging around the hallway, joking about my crush on this guy when I said I would even let him F me in the butt if he wanted to. He overheard, came out and told me and my friend to be quiet, then winked at me. I was so mortified. I didn't come back to the lab until winter break was over, hoping that the large influx of people would somehow prevent me from ever seeing him again. That didn't happen. On my first day back, I was in the break room making some toast when he walks in. Oh frick, I had thought, knowing that a confrontation was probably inevitable and that I ought to apologise for my crass comment. But instead I frantically looked away and focused on putting peanut butter on my toast, because if I do that he can't see me, right? That didn't happen again. Instead he came up right next to me, smiled and said, "Hey OP, how was your break?" I looked up awkwardly and told him it was fine, mainly just stayed on campus and worked at the lab. He told me that he basically did the same but went to see his family for a couple of days. He didn't bring up what happened either, thank God. Then he said something along the lines of, "Is that all you're having for lunch?" And I was like, yeah, I was in a rush and forgot to pack something. Then he said, "Oh, I was going to go grab something to eat at a sandwich place near us. Do you want to come with?" I was like, what the F, that smooth fricker. I tried not reading into it and brushed it off as him being nice, so I said sure, and we went. Well, we ended up having a great lunch. Inevitably, as we were on our way back, he finally made a crack and was like, "So tell me, after our lunch today, how many seconds do you think I spent staring at you?" I literally just looked at him blankly with my jaw dropped before he chuckled out, "It has to be longer than 6 seconds at a time, right? That has to mean I like you." By the way, what he said was a reference to what my friend and I were talking about that day when he overheard. Even with my shock, I managed to laugh and made a wisecrack back at him. Well, tomorrow is our 1-month anniversary. We have not done the butt stuff. He told me after a couple of weeks that although he appreciated my comment, he's not into putting his dick in buttholes. Looks like I'll be retaining my butt virginity, and I managed to get a super cute, intelligent, and kind boyfriend out of this whole ordeal. Alrighty guys, that's the end of that one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Perhaps you've been in a similar scenario. Let me know. Alright, let's go to the next one. This one was written on the Off My Chest subreddit. It was written by a throwaway account, and it's titled, "I am done, and I am heartbroken. I have no one." I've been married for 15 years. I've known my wife since I was 8. We have 3 daughters together, 17, 14 and 11. I'm tired of feeling like I'm an outsider in my relationships with all of them. I'm just an ATM and taxi service to my kids. My wife hasn't kissed me in 6 months. She has not said that she loves me in 1.5 years. No matter how much I communicate, try to plan anything or do anything, it is always shot down, forgotten or dismissed. I don't get angry and I don't yell. I don't get physical. I like to splurge during birthdays and Mother's Day. I throw parties and give gifts and try to show how much I love them. I get a lukewarm thanks, and if I'm lucky, a side hug that lasts 0.0001 seconds. This week was the breaking point, Father's Day. I wake up to an empty house. Odd. No note, nothing was written on the calendar, and nothing said beforehand. I send a text and I get back, "I took the girls out for a spa day, don't wait up." Then nothing. Literally nothing. Dinner time comes around and they get home. I ask what they would like for dinner. Nothing, we already ate at one of my favourite restaurants. Cool, whatever. There is no mention of it being Father's Day. No "I love you, how are you?" Nothing. Fast forward to Wednesday, which was my birthday. Nothing. Literally again, nothing. I suggested plans. They get shot down. I suggested food. Nope, shot down. Ask about watching a movie and they're all too busy. They just sat on their phones doing nothing. Now to Thursday night. I'm in bed. My wife is next to me. She rolls over and says in a crappy tone, "Oh, your birthday was the other day. I guess you expect to have sex." That broke something in me. Best of my memory at how it went down. I said, "No, I don't expect sex. At this point I don't expect anything anymore." Her. What is that supposed to mean? So I started asking her questions. When was the last time we shared a kiss? Like a week? Nope. It was in December, and it was during her parents' holiday party. When was the last time we had sex? The beginning of the year? Nope, wrong. It has been over a year. She was adamant that we did it in February. I was dealing with my mum's health and her passing, so I said something like, "You may have had sex, but it wasn't with me." When was the last time you said you loved me? I say it all the time. Not to me. Check your messages. You don't say it to me face to face. Well, you should just know I do. When was the last time we went on a date? Long pause. Her. You're being unfair. Emotions turned on fully. I was crying and raising my voice at this point. I ask her how. She can't answer. I asked her how wanting any sign of love from anyone in the house is unfair. If expecting anything for my birthday or Father's Day was unfair. She got an oh crap look. Yeah, you forgot that as well. I'm not an ATM. I'm not a taxi service. I'm not a punching bag. She asked why this was coming up out of the blue. It didn't. I've tried to talk to my family and again get dismissed or ignored. I brought up examples. I got an, I didn't know you were serious. I didn't know it was such a big deal. I left saying something to the point of, if you want to pretend that I'm invisible and don't exist, fine. You don't have to pretend anymore. I left the house at almost midnight, on Thursday and Friday morning. I haven't been home since. I'm not sure what to do now. I'm finally sober enough to think, but I don't know what to do. First time drinking in over 15 years, by the way, and I'm not going to drink anymore. I love my family, but I can't keep this up. I don't know what more I can do. I think they would be happier without me. They already act like I don't exist. I can't be the one who is blamed for everything. If I truly am the problem, then me not being there should fix it. I can't do it anymore. I've tried to be a good provider, a good partner, and a good dad. Never missed an event of our kids. Never prioritised work. I kept good hours so I could see them more. Took on more responsibility to better our life and future. But it is never appreciated. It is never enough. I am never enough. I only have one message from my wife. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. We all love you, and we are here for you when you want to come home and talk. That is it. No other messages, no calls, nothing from the kids. I feel like if they really wanted me there, they would try reaching out more. All of the kids have their own phone. I don't know what she told them. I'm sure they heard me raise my voice. Me raising my voice would have definitely got their attention since I never do. I'm sure they heard me leave, I just don't know. Editor ad. Thanks everyone. I did not think anyone would care. You've given me some hope and advice I'm going to look into. I don't know how to respond to a lot of the comments. I know how to, just not in words. I'm going to try to figure things out more. I'm now 100% sober, so my mind is clearer. I'm going to start meeting with people on Monday and try to come up with options. Okay, let's look at the comments. This made me want to cry. I'm so sorry you're treated this way. I can't imagine ignoring Father's Day or even my dad's birthday. And that expecting sex comment your wife said was absolutely horrible. I hope things improve for you. You deserve it. Oh man, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. You really don't deserve this. You deserve so much love. I want you to know that your kids do love you and do care. I think they're just learning from their mum how to treat you, but it's not really who they are. I hope things work out in the best way possible for you. I'm sorry, you sound like a great dad and husband, and deserve to be appreciated. Men need affection too. It seems like your kids might have learned this behaviour from your wife. I don't have any excuse for her. It really isn't acceptable. I hope you know deep in your heart that their coldness isn't a reflection of your worth. You are worthy of love and respect. Best wishes. Dang, this is like reading my journal. I can absolutely relate to you, OP, but I have a different take for you to consider. Go home. You deserve that space you helped pay for. This time, you match their energy. Start saying no. No more taxi service, no parties, no more ATM withdrawals. For your wife, become a grey rock. Speak when spoken to. Just be a member of the family. No more night service for anyone in that house, not until they treat you better. Don't fall for the love bombing. It needs to be sincere and last forever, not just a couple of weeks or months. Also, spoil yourself. All that money you spend on them, spend on yourself. Hit the gym, play golf, and go out with your buddies. Limited drinking. Pamper yourself, and have personal spa day. I'm telling you, a massage, facial, and a pedicure is freaking amazing. If nothing else, you will learn to appreciate yourself, and even if things don't work out, you'll be in a better mental state to deal with it all. The last thing is to get your ducks in a row. You will know within the first 48 hours if things will change. If not, contact a lawyer to draft a separation agreement and decide on your next steps. Fortunately for me, things have changed. It's still not perfect, but it's better. Okay, on to an update. I've not been well, but I'm doing better. You guys have helped me a lot, and it means more than you know. I was able to get help through my work. They have resources for both therapy as well as legal counsel. But somehow my boss found out I was reaching out and now won't leave me alone. But that's unimportant. I know she only has good intentions. So far, I like the new therapist I was able to get an appointment with. I thought there would be a long wait list. She recommended a family and spousal therapist as she focuses more on individuals. I talked to them as well. I got referred to divorce lawyers. I don't want to use them, but I had a talk with them and got an idea of what that route would be like. It will be like 70% screwed, but we are an at-fault state, so if it turns out she is cheating, I'll be okay-ish. My kids did reach out after a few days worried. I told them I'm fine, do truly love them, and miss them, but needed space and time. For the first time ever, I missed some of their extracurricular activities. I think that is what made them understand something was really wrong. Some other family members and friends noticed and started asking questions to all involved. My kids also mentioned how things were not the same without me around, and my wife was struggling. My wife reached out a few times, just checking in, apologising, giving me updates on things, and a couple of the times she asked about the 4th of July. We usually host a party and barbecue. I said I wasn't interested, but I said that her and I needed to talk alone in person. That happened the weekend after the 4th. Apparently she was planning the 4th as a surprise birthday party for me, after I'd left, to make up for forgetting my birthday, but I ruined it as I didn't go and wasn't interested. When we met up to talk, she wasn't alone and brought the kids. I was happy to see them. They seemed happy to see me as well, but I asked for my wife and I to talk alone. When I pointed this out, she said the kids missed me and it was fine. We can talk with them here. I believe it was more of a manipulative move. I explained that this was another example of how my feelings or wants get ignored and cast aside, how I've been ignored for a while, and how that is not right by anyone. She kept apologising. I said while I acknowledged the apologies, I don't accept them. Most of the apologies to me feel like they are not real, such as her initial apology of, "I'm sorry you feel that way," or they sound forced and just saying what she thinks I want to hear. Actions speak louder than those empty words. I also said that she is setting an example and expectation on how I'm treated and how our daughters will see me and treat me and their future relationships. As of now, no one should be treated this way. I think at this point, my wife regretted bringing the kids. My 14-year-old took my 11-year-old for some snacks. My 17-year-old stayed. I flat out asked if there was anyone else, if she was cheating physically or emotionally or otherwise. She looked like I'd just slapped her. She said she would never do that. I asked why she was so adamant about us having sex in February, the daughter had left at this point, when it had been longer. Why has every part of our romance died within a year span from her part? She didn't know. We talked for an additional 20 minutes. I finally took out 2 folders I had with me. One was a separation document, not quite a divorce, but halfway to it. The other was therapist referrals for individuals and couples. I needed her to understand how serious I and this situation was. I asked her to look over each other and ask herself what she wanted, but she had to make the decision and schedule the appointments. I explained that I'm done living this way, and if she chooses to stay with me, then there are going to be major changes occurring both in our relationship and at home. I love the woman I married, had kids with and built a life together, but I don't know where she went. My kids came back and my 11-year-old was mad I wasn't going back with them that night. I gave my wife time. She contacted me the next day, saying she has made appointments for herself and for her and I. She explained that she set up some bi-weekly individual therapy and we have our first couples therapy early next month. The reason for the wait was so she could establish and work on herself first. I've been using the grey rock method towards her since the initial incident per yours and my therapist's recommendations, so it's still a work in progress. I'm not in as dark of a place as I was when I first posted. Some things are better than it was. I'm willing to put in the work, but it won't be one-sided. There is a plan moving forward, so that's a plus. I've been home for a week now, but I'm sleeping in a different room. Some changes have been put in place already, but time will be the real test. As a side note, on the second night of me being back, she actually tried to initiate sex, but I said no, that it wasn't the time or place for that. We had a lot to work out before that can happen. As always, peace, love, and chicken grease. Wow, okay folks, that's the end of that story. Let me know what you think down below. I want to be hopeful, but I don't know, you just get a weird feeling reading the end there. More often than not, if it gets to this point, it's really just delaying the inevitable, but I really hope they can work it out. Got any advice for OP here? Let me know. My fiancé cheated on me, and I'm pregnant. Pretty much what the title says. My fiancé and I have been together 3 years, and I love him more than anything. I know 3 years isn't that long, and I've had longer relationships, but mine with him is definitely the most serious by far, and not just because he proposed. I've never loved anyone more than him, and when I fell for him, it was a much stronger and intense connection than I've ever felt for anyone in my life. I'm only 26, so I know I have time to find someone else, but I'm so incredibly heartbroken in ways I didn't even imagine I could break. This is by far the worst pain I've ever felt. I don't know how it happened. This was the healthiest relationship I've ever been in, and I was so excited to get married and have our child. He doesn't even know I'm pregnant because his birthday is next month, and I wanted to surprise him. There were none of the usual signs like our relationship declining for the past several months. It was like one day the switch just flipped. I noticed he was first off like 2 weeks ago after we came home from my friend's place after hanging out. He seemed distant, but I just chalked it up to him being tired. But then he continued to be a little distant. I know his boss has been on his butt lately about a work project. He's an engineer, and I thought he was just stressed about it. These past 2 weeks we haven't been having intimacy either, but that's not out of the normal because when he's really stressed, either with family stuff or work, he isn't usually in the mood. On Friday, I went out of town to visit my sister, and I just got home today. Originally, the plan was for him to go with me, but he told me that he really needed the weekend to work on his project, which I didn't find suspicious at all. He knew what day and what time I would be coming home, yet when I got into our home, the kitchen hadn't been cleaned from what was obviously a romantic dinner, and when I got to the bedroom, the sheets were a mess, and a woman's lingerie was on the floor by the door. And his pants and their shoes were in the hallway, very obviously hastily taken off on the way to our shared bedroom, our shared bed, our shared everything, and our sacred place. It just seemed so careless. He knew what I would see and didn't even bother to clean up. Did he really think I'd stay? Did he really think I just wouldn't care? He's not picking up my calls, and when I texted him, I realized he's blocked me. If he was into someone else, why didn't he just say that? Why would he let me find out in the most hurtful way in the world? Even worse, I know who the girl is because she left her jewelry, and it's someone who I was insecure about when our relationship first started, but that I got over the longer we were together. I don't know what to do. I had to get out of our home, so now I'm just crying on my front lawn. I'm too mortified to call anyone close to me, and a million thoughts are running through my head. What am I going to do with the baby? I can't even imagine trying to co-parent with him after a betrayal like this. Why did he do this? What changed? Did he get bored of me? Why wasn't I enough? Why her? Why me? What am I going to tell people? How am I ever going to trust someone again? Where am I going to live? Which of our mutual friends will choose him? Does this mean I can't be friends with their sister anymore? Just so many questions with zero explanations. I can't even put into word how soul-damaged, emotionally crushed, and absolutely wrecked I am. I'm so hurt I can't even talk about it. I can't even call my therapist. So now I'm typing it all out because I just had to tell somebody what was happening, even if it was just strangers on the internet. Let's look at some comments. You are hurt, but you need to stop spiraling and react logically. Go back to the house and document everything. Photobomb that effing place. Bag up the sheets and clothes as evidence. Contact a lawyer in case you have combined assets and for professional advice. This includes if you wish to continue the child, document that you are pregnant, and what would custody arrangements be. Keep the jewelry. It's spiteful, but since she left it at your house, why not do something useful with something that has caused you pain? Combine all this photographic evidence and email his family and your immediate friends that due to his cheating you are now no longer engaged. I don't know about your housing situation, but since you have residence, you can stay there to sort out your next housing situation. There are subs on here that probably have more resources on how to handle this cheating. Also, reach out to your sister and family now. They will help you. You haven't done anything wrong. He has. You will be okay, although it hurts now. This is so awful, OP. I'm so sorry you're going through this. To be honest, it kinda sounds like he wanted to be caught, So could he have been looking for a reason to end things with you both? You're better off without someone like that. Pack your bags and leave, and once you have had some time and feel ready, tell him you're pregnant. I wish you all the best. Call someone. This isn't your shame. Betrayal is traumatic. Reach out to your loved ones. Let someone hold you and care for you. All those questions? One at a time. For now, just get yourself somewhere safe and focus on getting through the shock. Now for an update. Mini update. Hey everyone. Thank you all so much for the kind words. Sorry I haven't responded to any comments or anything, but really I was just so overwhelmed. I ended up calling my therapist, and currently I'm staying with my best friend, but just for a few days until I can get a flight to where my parents live. My therapist recommended that I leave this situation off the internet, and usually I would listen to her, but I know some of you genuinely do care to hear what happens to me, so I'm going to post the final update, probably tomorrow if I'm not too devastated, or the day after. After that, I will most likely delete my account. First things first, I am keeping the baby. Where I live, I'm too far along to get an abortion. The time span to get one is really short. I'm currently 2 months, and I haven't started showing. My ex-fiancé didn't notice because the birth control I take makes me not have a period, but if I'm being completely transparent, I probably would have kept this pregnancy anyway. Second, I took pictures like all of you suggested, and I'm meeting a lawyer later this week. Third, I called his sister and I have no idea what he told them about me, but I've never heard her have so much venom, like what she had on that phone call with me. I told her what happened, and she wasn't shocked at all, and said in this exact wording, "Wow, you really haven't figured out why he did this to you at all, have you?" And then as she was telling me to never call anyone in their family again, I had to shout over her that I was pregnant, in case she blocked me. I could hear the shocked silence, and told her I would literally piss on a stick in front of her if she didn't believe me. I think she could tell from my voice that I was telling the truth, and told me that she'd get her brother to meet me at their house later today to talk, and that I had to tell him I was pregnant myself, and she wouldn't do that burden for me. She then abruptly hung up. His sister and I have always been close, and I remember how I used to wait all day in the hospital when she was getting treated for her breast cancer. I have no idea what could have made her hate me this much, what lies he could have told her. I just cried so much after this phone call. My best friend is going to go over with me when I talk to him, and she's going to wait outside in the car. See you guys tomorrow or later this week. Final update. When I got into our home, my fiancé was very callous and cruel. He berated me and would not let me get a word in. He screamed at me that I needed to drop the victim act, or else he would tell all my friends and family the truth about me. I asked how could I be playing the victim when he's the one who cheated, and then let me find out in an abusive, disgusting and psychotic way. Before I get into the rest of this update, I feel like some background information is needed. Before I got with my fiancé, my hair was completely virgin. It was a brown colour that looked red in the sunlight and photos that I loved, and his was pink. When we got close, I learned that it was pink in support of his sister, who got diagnosed with breast cancer. About 8 months in, I decided to dye my hair pink for his sister's upcoming breast cancer surgery. Him and his entire family was touched by the gesture, and everyone ended up dyeing their hair pink before her surgery. My fiancé was especially touched because he knew how much I really liked my natural colour. After his sister went into remission, we started doing cute matching couple hair of all different colours. When we visited my friends a couple weeks ago, she was making a video of memories from over the years because one of our friends' big 30 is coming up, and she plans to show it at the party. After we came home from her place, this was when I first noticed he was off. He saw a video on her computer of me with very bright red hair, which is not my natural colour, even in the sunlight, which is maybe a shade red above auburn. Before I go any further, this video was from mid-2019, before we got together, and was not real dye. It was one of those non-bleach, non-damage hair waxes that come out after a single wash. In this video, I'm making out with a former male friend of mine. We were bar hopping, and you can see us in the back kissing as we're walking to the next bar. Last summer, my fiancé and I dyed our hair bright red, like what's on the video, and he thought I had cheated on him because he knows my hair was virgin before I dyed it pink in support of his sister. While we were arguing, He kept telling me that I had cheated first, and that my effing hair was red, and that's how he knew that I had cheated with an old male friend's name, and that I cut off because we'd slept together once before I got with my fiancée, and that made him uncomfortable, and that he'd seen it all on my friend's computer, and that's why he slept with his female friend, because he wanted to hurt me like he did. I kept yelling at him that I never cheated on him and had genuinely no idea what the hell he was talking about. I was so confused, upset, hurt and angry that I started cramping in the middle of our shouting fest. My fiancé thought I was faking it until a large amount of blood started coming from my private area. He called the ambulance and my friend came inside to check if I was okay, because I'd been there for a while at this point. At this point, I hadn't even gotten the chance to yell at him I was pregnant, and my friend had to do so as I yelled out in agonizing physical pain. The ambulance came in 11 minutes, but by the time I reached the hospital, it was too late. My baby was gone. From there, word got out, and my friend, the one with the video, heard about everything, and she came and showed him proof that the video he was talking about was from before we were together and taken in mid-2019. She showed me too, because up until that point, I had completely forgotten about that night and had no idea what he was talking about. I then explained to him that it was just hair wax. I'm devastated about the baby. Despite everything, I truly wanted to keep it, and I feel so hollow now, so wrecked. I don't know what to do about my relationship. He has genuinely apologized to me, and I know he only did what he did because he thought I had cheated on him. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over this, if I'll always resent him for the miscarriage. But I still love him so much, and I still can't even imagine life without him. Before his mother learned the truth, she made a scathing Facebook post about me and my cheating, and since then his entire family has all formally apologized to me, but I'm still getting calls from extended family members and friends who still haven't heard the truth, calling me hurtful things and telling me I deserved my miscarriage, and that's what I got for trying to baby trap him. It's another kick to my already broken soul, and as of right now my social reputation is in tatters because of the post. My fiancé, or rather ex-fiancé, wants to make one big post just addressing everything, but I honestly don't even have the energy, and I can't imagine of all this drama for all of our loved ones to see that cut me so deeply just plastered on Facebook. His mum has tried to call, but I've been declining all of them, because also in her post she added some really nasty things she didn't like about me before she found out about the cheating that I didn't know how she felt about, and I just feel really hurt about every mean thing she wrote about my personality, looks, character, depression and anxiety episodes, and past. I'm currently staying with parents in an Airbnb because I felt like I had to confront everything front on and stay here, but they wanted to be here to support me. Guys, I thought I was broken before, but I'm going to be completely candid and say that I've considered not living since the miscarriage. A part of me also feels like my relationship, which I loved more than myself, is over, which just makes me feel so sick. So many things are being said about me, and all I want to do is disappear, but I know that I can't, for the sake of the people I love, and I won't. Anyhow, that's the update. I don't know where my life goes from here, but it felt only fair to update you guys one last time. Wow, the fiancé really just ended everything good there by just assuming something before asking questions. He didn't make any effort whatsoever to try and find any more information about that video. He just jumped straight to full revenge mode. Let this be a lesson, kids. Communication. Give me your thoughts about this one in the comments. Anyway, let's go to our next story. Okay, this next one was posted on the Am I the A-hole subreddit. It was written by user Profit Comfortable, and it's titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to accept my boyfriend's demand about me dancing at my cousin's wedding? I, 24 female, am from an Indian Bangladeshi background. My boyfriend, 26 male, is white. Though he has grown up in a more conservative way, he is still very chill about culture and tries to blend into it. We've been together for 3 years. My cousin is getting married next week. Since it's a Desi wedding, you can understand the planning has been going on for like a year, and the function lasts for days. So we have this function called Holud, where people apply a turmeric mask on the bride, and there is also singing and dancing. For context, you can Google Haldi, it's the same concept. My cousin's Holud function would be as big as her wedding, and each member is requested to perform a dance number. I have 3 dancers ready for the function. One is my solo, another is a group, and the last one will be couple dances like they do in Bollywood. My boyfriend knows this and he had no issue with it. He has been to Indian weddings before, so he knows the deal. His issue is with the couple dance. He doesn't want me to perform it. The couple dance isn't very intimate, it's just a boy is paired up with another girl and they do dance steps together. I was paired up with a relative of mine. He's my mum's cousin's son. To be honest, I still have no idea how we're related, but we are. I asked him what the problem is. He told me he doesn't want me to dance with a random guy because it makes him look bad, and since I'm committed to him, it would be like cheating. I'm a bit confused. He didn't have a problem until now. The dance rehearsals have been going on for like 2 months. He's been to every rehearsal. I told him, fine, I'll see what I can do because I did not want to upset him. Now he is saying I shouldn't be dancing at all. His reasons were that it seems inappropriate. No female member in his family ever danced at a wedding where they are the center of attention, and since I'll be on the stage, people will be looking at me. He doesn't want that. I tried my best to explain it to him that this is part of my culture. I'm not going to drop my culture just because he is uncomfortable. We had a fight and he is not talking to me. He most probably won't come to the wedding as well. Am I the a-hole? Because I never wanted to do things that would hurt him. I'm just trying to understand his perspective. Edit, just to remove confusion. My boyfriend was asked if he wants to be a part in the couple dance. He agreed at first, but after 2 days he said the steps were complicated, so we replaced him. And the song was not very intimate either. It was not sensual like salsa or twerking. Sounds like the boyfriend's got some mad insecurity issues. Let's go to the comments. He is my mum's cousin's son. If your mum and his mum or dad are cousins, then you are second cousins. You're dancing with your cousin in what is a cultural tradition. I fail to see how dancing with someone is considered cheating, not the a-hole. Your boyfriend is either insecure, jealous of the attention you'll get on stage, or both. This is controlling behaviour no matter how you want to explain it away. Not the a-hole, but you should have fun at the wedding and dump the boyfriend. This won't be the last time he tries to stop you from doing things you enjoy. Trust that. You will probably have a better time if his jealous, judgmental butt stays home. Please don't worry about upsetting him. People like him love to get upset. It helps them control people, like you second-guessing your dance. Go and have a blast. I'm sure you will look beautiful. And turn your phone off for those days, so he can't annoy you. Okay, on to an update. Okay, so I'm done with the wedding stuff. Me and my boyfriend haven't contacted each other during the ceremony. I just told him via message that I'd already promised my cousin about the dance. I cannot step down because the functions are near. I told him I'll talk to him once the wedding is done. I get no messages from him. I kept checking my phone. We've had fights and disputes, but we always text each other to let the other know we're fine. I was worried a lot. I called one of his friends and they told me he's fine and doesn't want to talk, so I thought he must be mad at me. I became busy with the dance and wedding. Yes, I did perform the dance. No, I don't have the recordings with me now. I'll get the official video after a month. Also, in case anyone is asking, I won't upload it because I don't want to give out my identity along with my cousins. So after the dance I messaged him, and he still didn't reply. Something was off. I went to message him on another social media account in case I get him to talk to me. But there I saw he was tagged in a post by his friends that they're at a strip club. There was a video of him getting a dance from a stripper and licking alcohol off her boobs. I was disgusted. There were multiple stories from them of my boyfriend taking lap dances and other nasty stuff. I tried to enjoy the rest of the ceremony, but I was upset. He finally called me the next morning, and we had a fight over the phone which my cousins heard. Basically, he was angry with me and wanted to teach me a lesson to show what I was doing is similar to him getting a lap dance from a stripper. I called him a sick man and broke up with him. I'm fine. The wedding kept me distracted. I had fun and looked nice in my Gagra Koli. My cousins were petty. Since they were still friends with my ex on social media, they were tagging him in every picture that includes me, especially the ones that are single pictures of mine. He blocked all of them. Thanks, Reddit, for making me see that he was not worth it. I will be fine, and I'm going to stuff my face with the leftover wedding food for the rest of the week. Alrighty folks, that's the end of that story. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Honestly, pretty good ending. I'm glad that she got rid of that guy. You just knew from the first sentence that he showed up that he was not it. Anyway, give me your thoughts in the comments. Either way, that's it from me today. Thanks for making it to the end. Hope you guys enjoyed those stories, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.